Welcome back, everybody. So it turns out the cadets just ran straight away. Just waiting on the results. Few minutes away from starting junior men's. So it's going to be Benjamin, Matthew, Nevan, Blake, Bennett, Pascale, and Jordy. Blake, Bennett, Pascale, and Jordy. So that should be your start order, I think. I will just double check with just double check that's correct order. As we wait for the first rides to get started here. Here is the start list for the junior finals. Right smack dab in the middle of your screen. And I think we're getting started here. With okay, Benji already went. Okay, so this is Matthew Cardinal. Benji's first ride coming in at 30 points. Cardinal going for a big loop. Looking for that spacey to the right. Plugging again, another massive loop attempt. And an unfortunate flush there on his first ride for Matthew. This is the very last final. In our cadet, it seems there was only 2 left to compete earlier. So Josh won gold medal and came in with a silver in the cadet category. So that is why they just ran through it. There was only 2 left to go out of the 5 that were originally in. So they've just ran the 2 runs. Now we are in the juniors, which is going to be a pretty intense competition. Heavy favorite Jordy waiting at the bottom of this heat. As we wait on the score for Matthew Cardinal. Matthew getting a first ride score of a 123.33. as Nevan drops into the feature for his first ride. Huge loop. We saw Nevan, he was in first heat in the preliminaries way at the beginning of the day. 1 o'clock mountain time. Massive right Space Godzilla. And he was scoring huge right off the bat, so I'm looking forward to see what he's got for us here in this junior men's category. Looking for maybe the Space Godzilla to the left, but not quite getting the air he was looking for. Lining himself up for a plug, flings himself upstream, but unfortunately doesn't get the rotation and gets flushed out of the feature. So that'll be it for ride 1 for Nevan Hindmarsh. I actually believe maybe it's Hindmarsh. Next in line in the eddy, we got Blake Booth. Pretty much everybody, actually everybody in this group representing out of Alberta, and I think one maybe BC. So heavy West dominance here at these national championships in Alberta, Kananaskis, or Kananaskis, Alberta. Blake Booth dropping in Nevan's first ride at 260. Blake spinning it around, but unfortunately catching an edge, and that's going to be it for that first ride. Not what Blake was looking for, but he still got 2 more to go, and we've seen him throw absolutely massive before, so I'm not overly worried about that at the moment. Also, to all 19 of you guys watching right now, welcome. We are catching the end of the live stream. It's been a crazy day of competition at these national championships and Western team selection for Canada. You are catching the very last finals, the junior men's finals. The top, currently, normally it's top 5, but since there's a U23, I believe it's top 7 going in here. And right now, Bennett Whalen on your screen, dropping in for his first of 3 rides. Your best ride counts. So you get 3 attempts to score your absolute largest ride, and Bennett going right away with that huge left spacey into a big air loop. Huge Space Godzilla to the right this time. So he's got both spacies, big air loop, lots of bonuses on that. Looking for the McNasty, slamming it around with confidence. Now, maybe cartwheels, see if he can bring it around, and he does. We'll see what the judges give. You can't really go over vert too much with cartwheels, but this was pretty impressive. Now, spinning it around, trying to get those 10 points. It's very important. And that's going to be time. He runs the clock all the way down on the feature, and that is a fantastic first ride here from Bennett. It's really important to get that first ride in off the bat, because as you go further through, the risks of making mistakes as you get more tired, and not just that, but the stress of being the one below who has to make that leap is really, really high. So being able to get yourself a good solid ride off the bat kind of sets the tone and lets you kind of have that maybe 1 second ride, oops, that didn't go as planned, without suddenly ending up with a single ride to do it all. So great run from Bennett as we await his score. Pascale waiting in the eddy. Blake's first run earlier coming in with 10 points. Now we're going to wait for Bennett's run. There's a couple tricks in there, a couple combos and links that'll have the judges discussing, but his score is coming in. A massive first ride score of 451.66. That is huge. I think that might be one of his best rides to date. Pascale, though, coming in with a big entry wing over as an entry level 2. Good points off the board. Massive air loop. Maybe even going huge on that for the bonus. Plugging in again for that. That was definitely huge. The entire boat and his entire body were out of the water on that Space Godzilla. Now maybe looking for McNasty, trying to blast it around. Huge McNasty. We'll call that some air bonus to that one. That one was right. Yeah, he was going to go left. Look at him throw into that blast, trying to catch an edge, trying to correct it. He ends up pulling his bow below the spill line of the foam and has to try to leap forward to make his way back in. You see some of the guys doing that at the World Championships. Lots of Europeans and the British are really big on that. You'll see them in the little tiny features, and out of nowhere, they'll be like 5 feet below the feature, and they leap forward and back into it. So good skill to have, and Pascale just absolutely killing it out there. So we'll see what his ride comes in at as our leader going into this by no small margin, Jordy Munro. Looking to claim one more junior national title before transitioning to the senior on the national level, but he is already U23 for next year's World Championship. So he's trying out for that at the moment. And Pascale with a crazy tight score, 456.66, only 5 points higher than Bennett. So he's going to take that first place position right off the bat. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I'm detecting this is going to be a really tight final again. It's been tight. It was tight in the east. It's going to be tight here out west, and it's going to make for it usually makes for some heart clenching. I don't even know if that's a term. Jaw clenching. Final rides here as Jordy drops in for that massive clean wing over. Huge right Space Godzilla linked into loop, linked into split wheel, going for every single one of those bonuses. He's been adjusting himself a few times in his boat. I wonder if he needs to fix his outfitting a little bit. Who knows? Yeah, I think I think somebody needs to adjust their outfitting just a little bit, because there goes the punishment on that McNasty, and he just goes to fling, but it's like he doesn't have any. Maybe his back band blew, but didn't look like he had any control over the back of his boat. So instead, he's going to go for back moves, going for the lunar, maybe going into the McNasty, landing it linked from the lunar. We'll see if that counts, but that's going to be absolutely massive score out of Jordy. Now go fix your outfitting. We're going to wait for that score to see what that settles at. I have a feeling that's going to be at the top of the leaderboard, but we're going to have to wait and see. As we wait patiently for that score to come in, Jordy looked pretty confident in his ride despite the backband potential issue that I saw. As we wait for that score, you're going to see these scores starting to take quite a while to be calculated between the three judges putting their scores together, finding the average, discussions between the head judges, small micro adjustments that need to be made. That's why you got three judges and a head judge. So shout out to them being sitting there all day. They have basically just been out there next to the river doing nothing but calling tricks, counting, run calculations. Shout out to them. Also, other side of the river, you see there's a safety boater, a little bit long red boat over there. Big shout out to them. Without safety boaters, you actually can't run an event. So it is really awesome that there's people out there willing to just chill and hang out. Oh no, we lost our feed. Hey, it's back. It's back. Whew. That was scary. I thought we lost our feed there. I see Nevan messing around in the eddy. I think that's Nevan at least. I think maybe data or their phone is starting to slow down here. It's been running all day. So shout out to whoever volunteered their phone for the day because they have not had it. It's literally been on the side of the river, live beaming this video all the way to me all day. So big shout out to them. As we're still waiting, there it is. Okay, Jordy's score coming in at a 556.67, and we're going back up to Benjamin Goluska for his second of 3 rides. He's going to start it off with a nice surf, trying to set himself up. Looking to spin it around, unfortunately catching his stern. Does he get back up? He does. He's going to still be in the feature. Still trying to just gain control. Maybe looking for the blast. Trying to get a blast into a McNasty. But there, maybe tries to save that into a Jedi flip, which not overly likely, but still worth trying. So great attempt there from Benji, who still has one more ride to go. Benji's first ride being 30. And now Matthew dropping in for his second of 3 rides. Matthew looking for a big loop, but I think the day is finally getting to these guys, and just the power to bring it around didn't quite work. And now Nevan. Nevan's first ride coming in at a 260. Currently off the podium spot. He's going to be looking to best that. Going for the big loop. Looking for the Space Godzilla to the right. Not quite making that connect. Oh, maybe there was a Jedi flip attempt. Probably more likely a Space Godzilla to the left, but still, if it lands, it lands. And Nevan, who's just trying to make something work here, goes for the back loop, but just not enough. Gets the blast, looks for the McNasty, but just can't pull it through as the final buzzer beeps on his second ride. And now behind Nevan, we have Blake. Blake Booth, who didn't have quite the first ride he was looking for. 10 points. We've seen him throw massive today, so we're definitely hoping to see him do that right now here in the finals. Our current leaders include Jordy Munro at a 556.67. Pascale Fels at a 456.66 and Bennett Whalen at a 451.66. So that 451.66 is the benchmark at the moment to break into the podium spot. Not an easy benchmark to achieve, but definitely something all of these paddlers out here are capable of. From the looks of it, the music must definitely be vibing, because Blake's definitely vibing. Nevan's second ride at a 263, so improving his first ride by 3 points. And now Blake dropping in, spinning it up, looking for a nice big loop, immediately trying to plug for the Space Godzilla, doesn't quite get it up there. Luckily, it retains the feature. Spin, looking for the Space Godzilla to the left. Manages to retain. We'll see if he gets the link bonus from the spin. All these paddlers looking for those links, trying to get those extra points anywhere they can. Oh, and that was an interesting move. It was definitely aiming for Space Godzilla, but he ended up almost pirouetting completely aerial, which was fun to watch, but I'm sure he would have preferred it land as an actual scoring trick. Now, as we get closer to the third rides, Blake lands a second score of 160, and Bennett Whalen lies next. Bennett currently sitting in that third place position. He had an absolutely incredible first ride, but then out of nowhere, Pascale, well, not nowhere, we saw him throw massive, but still, the how tight these scores are. Pascale throws a 456.66, only 5 points more, and here he goes with that entry, trying to get those points high. He just needs 5 more points than his first ride to break into second place. Looks for the Space Godzilla, ends up flushing off the left shoulder. And we'll see if he can make it back in or if he decides to conserve his energy. Nah, he's committed to it. He's going to make it back in there. He's still got one more ride, though, and there it is. He's calling it. He's going for that third ride. It's going to be an all or nothing near the end in a race for him to either have to break back into podium or try to steal second or first. Next up, our second place by only 5 points paddler, Pascale Fels. As we wait, Bennett's second ride coming in at a 76.67. He's definitely going to just wave that one off and look for ride 3 to see if he can improve on his first ride score. Here comes Pascale dropping in from above, going for that wing over entry level 2. Plugging in for a massive loop. Always just on the edge of flushing on that. I think he uses the bottom like a springboard. Looking for the plug for a huge Space Godzilla to the right. I don't know how this kid does that, but his Space Godzillas are completely aerial to the max. Looking for that McNasty to the right. He's here trying to challenge Jordy for that first place position. Unfortunately, catches an end and instead of throwing for a loop, ends up flushing out on his second Space Godzilla attempt. So we'll have to see. Definitely massive points. Not sure it's going to beat his first ride score yet, but we'll just have to wait and see for what the judges say. I don't know, I feel like we could do some music in here. Here comes Jordy going in for that massive wing over 2. Some big points already. Plugging in, going for that spacey to loop. Looks like he definitely won. I think he still needs to make adjustments to his outfitting mid-ride. Looking for that Space Godzilla to the left. Looking for a Phonics Monkey to the left. First time we see one of those today. Honestly, not sure why. I feel like we should have seen more. Looking for the Lunar. Not going to bring it around completely. You do have to bring it on one paddle. Looking for the back loop, landing it. That's another first for today. Jordy really showing us what he can do here in this feature on the Kananaskis River. And that's going to be time for his ride. We'll have to see what that comes to. Oh, and an update on Pascale's ride. Pascale actually improving his first ride score with a 486.67. So that's not enough. He's missing about 70 points to surpass Jordy's top score currently. But what this does do is it adds a little bit more distance between him and Bennett, who was only 5 points behind him, and could put Pascale in a really scary situation depending on how Ride 3 goes. So good ride from Pascale as we wait Jordy's second ride score. And we're getting ready to go into the dramatic part of the finals, which is going to be ride 3 of 3. Final ride for all of these guys. I see some typing as I think Jordy's score might be coming in real soon. Again, huge shout out to everybody watching live on Twitch. This has been a long stream, long day, but definitely worth it to bring you guys the national championships, some cool kayaking. So many of you guys have been here since the get-go, since 1 p.m. or 3 p.m. Eastern Time, 1 p.m. Mountain Time out west. So huge shout out. Thanks for supporting everyone in here. And hopefully I can bring more of this to you guys in the future. Jordy's second ride coming in at what's potentially an untouchable 893.33 points. Wow. That is our highest ride of the day. Pretty much the only person he had to beat today was himself for that, and he succeeded at it. He did hold the highest ride of the day, and now I think he holds it yet again, overtaking himself. But now, Benjamin Goluska, U23, dropping in for his third and final ride. Not quite having the finals I think he was hoping for. Now here to make a point. Goes in for that left spin. Trying to set something out, maybe a blast for McNasty. catching a bit of an edge, unfortunately, and that's going to be a flush and an end to Benji's finals rides here at the 2026 Canadian National Championships. But we still have 5 more paddlers to go, including Matthew Cardinal dropping into the feature as we speak. Matthew having a pretty good first ride, but I've seen him throw really big, and I know he wants it for his third ride. Unfortunately, goes for the loop. Can he make it back in? He's got all the time in the world to try to work his way back in for a few more big tricks, or his ride is over. A little bit more, and he's got it. Let's see what he can do with the rest of his time. It's exhausting to paddle back up that way, but he's going to plug straight into a huge loop. Doesn't quite have the snap at the end that I think he wanted, and then a window shade ends early his third and final ride of finals and his third and final ride of the day. Benji's third ride coming in at 15 points, and Matthew's third already coming in at 90 points, so he's going to stick with his first ride score of 123, and Benji with his first ride of 30. As we move over to Nevan, coming in for a nice wing over entry move. Looking to spin it around, find that big loop. The way these guys fly, because of how small they are in these features, always puts a smile on my face. And there's a nice Space Godzilla to the right. Still got some time left. He's got 2 tricks on the board at the moment. Looking to best his last score, trying to see if he can retain the feature. He does manage to retain the feature. His best score is 263. He needs much more than that to make it in. He's having fun, though. Look at him. Rodeo riding the wave just a little bit. Spinning around, looking to connect with a paddle throw loop. Almost makes it work. He's so small, he's just going to get stuck in the feature as he chases down his paddle. So, round of hands for Nevan. Hindmarsh, third and final ride of today. And next up, our last paddler who can disrupt the podium, Blake Booth. And we know he can. Current top scorer last ride was 160. He hasn't had the finals that compared to the preliminaries that we saw him have earlier. To break into that podium spot, Bennett Whalen is the Guardian with 451.66. Let's see what Blake's got on his final ride here for us. I'm going to spin it around, immediately plug into a loop, and unfortunate flush. That's always a bummer. As Blake going to probably take a 10-point on this, stick to his second ride score of 160. As we move into our current podium. So congratulations to these guys for making the podium, but it's not over yet. There's still a chance for upset. Bennett Whalen next to go, dropping into the feature right away. He is currently in third place. An unfortunate flush right off of his entry move is going to put an early end to his hopes of claiming more than a bronze, but bronze it's going to be for Bennett Whalen. We're going to move pretty quickly here into Pascale Fels, who is our last paddler who can to play upset here. Pascale's best ride, 486.67, but the ride to beat today is 893.33. Can he pull it off? Pascale with a nice entry. Looking for a huge clean loop. That's exactly what you want in these situations. Looking for the Space Godzilla to the left. Trying to set up that McNasty. Brings it around clean. This is a good start to his ride. He's going to be wanting to keep this up. Looking for the McNasty the other direction. As he brings it around, he does. This is looking massive. Looking for the split wheel. What's he got next for us? Still probably got a bit of time left on the board. Looking for the Phonics Monkey, but doesn't stick it. But that is still an absolutely crazy ride. Absolutely nothing you can complain about there. And now we just have to wait. What's it going to be? What is the score? Does he have Jordy beat? Or does Jordy get a victory lap? It's going to be a big one. Potential upset opportunity right here. That's Pascale. Waiting his score. Currently sitting in the silver medal spot. Regardless of his placement, he's got to be happy with that ride. Jordy, though, straight into his last ride. What has he got? He's got an... Oh my gosh. Right. And this is a victory lap, actually, for Jordy. Pascale's third ride coming in at 653.33 points, placing him clearly in the second place position. But Jordy, just a step above 200 more points, claims the first place spot. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. That was absolutely spectacular. What a competition. What a set of rides. We're still waiting, technically, on the official final score for Jordy's last ride. Jordy's last ride coming in at 60 points. So, ladies and gentlemen, we have our national junior champion in Jordy Munro. Thanks to everybody who participated, everybody who helped. There's a quick view. Massive shout out to the volunteers and everybody involved. It's been really exciting. Again, our junior national champions. Oh, my bad. I accidentally got rid of the music. So yeah, congratulations to all of our champions from today, but latest of all, the junior national champions. We have Jordy Munro, gold medal, Pascale Fels, silver medal, Bennett Whalen, bronze medal in fourth. We have Nevan Hindmarsh, fifth, Blake Booth, sixth, Matthew Cardinal, and wrapping up this finals heat, Benji Goluska. So it's been pretty amazing. Really excited by everything that happened today. It's been pretty wild. Just going to see if I can get one thing here to be able to wrap up the day. Because it has been exciting, and again, thank you to everybody who showed up. Final results will be posted on the Canadian Freestyle Facebook page, so make sure to follow that for updates because you're going to want to. And again, national team will be announced, I believe, August 23rd. So, let me a second. I'm just trying to... I should have done this one a little bit a while ago. Final. Yeah, so, I believe break, put that here. Be able to wrap this up for everybody. So, yeah, again, thank you to everybody who stopped by, everybody who showed up. It has been a crazy day, lots of viewership, lots of fun competition. If you liked it and you have a Twitch account, follow the channel. There'll be more coming. I do all types of stuff as well. Lots of kayaking stuff incoming as well. And, yeah, I am now going to go eat something and get off of my chair. So, again, thanks a lot, everybody. It was an absolute blast, and... see you guys next time.
I can't say anything anyway, so just believe me. Even if the words don't come out, they're here inside my head, stuck inside